percent. With the running out of programs designed to help families and businesses during the pandemic, there's growing pressure on Congress to get something done before the end of the year. For this Sunday's Facing South Florida, CBS 4's Jim DeFede spoke to Congresswoman Debbie Murcasel-Powell about the likelihood of the new stimulus bill.
Do you think we will end up with some sort of coronavirus bill, stimulus bill between now and the end of the year?
I think that there's more optimism in Washington, Jim, but we have absolutely no other choice. South Florida is facing some of the highest rates of food insecurity in the entire nation. I have been visiting these food banks where the lines are just endless and people are there for hours waiting to get food. And we, the House Democrats, worked on an economic relief bill back in May. We sent another bill in October to the Senate. Finally, the Senate provided an economic relief bill, a bipartisan bill that the House Democrats are absolutely willing to negotiate with. Unfortunately, what I'm seeing is that Mitch McConnell once again is blocking any sort of negotiation. And I just, I think it's important for the American people to realize there's one man coming in between economic relief for everyone in this country. This new bipartisan legislation that has been sent by the Senate, where the Speaker, Nancy Pelosi, has said this is good, let's negotiate. We need and we must pass an economic relief bill. It includes another round of unemployment benefits. It includes another round of payments for small businesses. I would like to see significant funding for schools and also for mortgage and rent relief. But it's starting to become, again, a block with Mitch McConnell. We cannot allow one man to come in between the future of economic relief in America because of this pandemic and allow for us to move forward. We need Americans to pay attention and to put the pressure on the Senate and on the Senate Majority Leader at this point.
Well, there does seem to be some positive signs, as you mentioned. I believe the Speaker and McConnell have begun to actually sort of talk more directly in terms of trying to move some of the legislation forward. I think that the current bipartisan piece of legislation is about half of what the Democrats had wanted before. It's about $908 billion as opposed to 1.9 trillion or 2 trillion, which was the original proposal. It's a stopgap, as sort of what Joe Biden has described it as. It's just a temporary passage of something to get them through until inauguration, and then they can come back for something more targeted. Would you be supportive of something that was on the smaller end, such as somewhere around $900 billion?
Jim, we have to act. I mean, we cannot wait. It's been months, and the situation is becoming more and more dire for many families that live here in South Florida. So we must do something now. And yes, if it's less than what we needed and what we asked for, that's fine. We can start with that number, which is a little less than $1 trillion, and then see what we need to do next after we have a presidency of Biden-Harris in the White House, and I know that they're going to be providing for these families. So I'm optimistic. I mean, there's a lot of optimism with a Biden-Harris administration because I do know that they understand the difficulties of working-class families, and that's the district that I represent here in Florida, 26.
And you can watch more of the interview this Sunday on Facing South Florida. Jim DeFede at 8:30 right here on CBS 4.